Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is Connor here. We are back with another stream. We are back with another update, I guess. A fair few updates. I was sat there in a sauna today. Day off. Chill out. Don't do anything regarding Leeds. Don't get yourself in a tizzy. Do a bit of yoga. Did yoga for the first time. Thought to myself, just get away from it. Get away from it. You don't need to get involved. Things won't happen. You're just going to go into the season with Jamie Shackleton right wing. Patrick Bamford will come back. He will be up front. Central attacking midfielder will be Jan Poveda for the remainder of the season. Expectations low. Heartbreak indeed. But today has seen a turn in my mood. It has seen me put on the Dutch top for a certain reason. And optimism renewed. Thank God. Thank God. Do we still need to do more, everybody? Yes, we do still need to do more, even if these two signings come over the line. But the press conference today from Daniel Farke was fantastic. There's players that we're talking about. I did a video yesterday saying Joël Perrault was not going to happen. Why did I say that? I said that because I was convinced Southampton, and apparently this morning, they were looking at making a bid, but apparently, obviously, that changed due to circumstance. Shea Adams, etc. Everton bid in trouble. So, Joël Perrault, 12 million quid plus add-ons. I'm not going to get too excited right now because I can't go through the mental trauma of going through medicals again and getting excited again and it not happening. So I'm just going to keep this Dutch top on, hope that it happens, and just give you guys a little bit of a thought process, my thought process on Joël Perrault. 19 goals last season, 3 assists. Am I excited by this one? Yes, relatively. Doesn't fit the standard number 9 role that we expect in a Daniel Farke system. Very different to what I would expect Daniel Farke to need and want. However, he's a goal scorer. A goal scorer who, thank God, eventually, unbelievably, we are replacing Patrick Bamford. That's what I said, everyone. That's what I said. Leeds United are replacing their injury-ridden, bang-average striker in Patrick Bamford. I've said it. You can't believe it, but they are actually doing something proactive about that. Thank Christ. Thank the Lord and Saviour. We are doing that. But I'm not like, I'm happy about Joël Perrault. You know, I am. The goals that he scored, the goal contributions last season, some of the finishes were expert, fantastic. Really happy with that. As I said, I don't know how Farke's going to work this. I don't know what he's going to do here, but it's going to be interesting to see. Interesting to see. And at the end of the day, what do you want a striker to do? Score goals. That's it. That's it. That's what we want a striker to do. Score goals. Now, how does a striker score goals? Assists, creativity, space being curated by attacking players, offensive players. Amiri, I should say, Bayer Leverkusen. News this morning, he wanted to go to Marseille. Kicker then counteracting that report, saying no, he doesn't want to go to Marseille. Marseille aren't interested. He's well and truly on the way and looking at Leeds United from Bayer Leverkusen. 6 million fee, signed, sealed, and nearly delivered. I'm all in. I'm all in. I am head to toe in. I am 6 foot under already. I'm fully in with this one. Really happy. Looks like a really technically gifted footballer. I'm not going to say someone who's going to mirror the Buendia from Farke 3 or 4 years ago, but someone who I've looked at and I've thought, do you know what? And after asking a few people, looks exactly what we need. I'm not going to profess to know everything about him. I'm not going to be that guy, but I am going to tell you from everything from the people I've spoken to, the people who I trust when it comes to tactics and analysis, this, that, and the other, they rate him very, very highly, and especially at Championship level. And if Marseille were interested in him, then that shows the levels. Not only that, but he's been playing at Bayer Leverkusen, not regularly, obviously, but, you know, even been at that level and coming to Leeds United is a massive coup. 4-year deal reported by Kicker. Apparently that one is going to be sealed according to several reports. Fantastic. Great. What did I say at the start of this week? A 9 and a 10 need to be done by Saturday. Are they going to be done by Saturday? I don't think so. I think the most that we're going to hope for is Perrault on the bench. If that gets done, please, please don't F this up. Don't F this up again. I've gone through so much trauma when it's come to this club and the final stages being bollocksed up. Please get this one done. Just get one. I just want a deal done. Just so I can say, yeah, it's like no Leeds fan is 100% confident right now, because with our club, you know, you could have a Burnley matching our bid at the last minute. Even when, you know, the shirt's been, the contract's been signed, everything, the shirt's been held up, something will happen, some complication. So I'm not getting too excited right yet, but overall, I'm really happy with the Perot signing, just as a statement signing. I was saying at the start of the window, I can't be a hypocrite. I was talking about Chuba Akpom, I was talking about Cameron Archer, I was talking about players who would fit a Daniel Farke system, maybe a little bit better than Joel Perot. But once again, you bring it all the way back to the goal scoring. He's a goal scorer. That's exactly what he is. And he's done it at championship level. He's scored, 41 goals in 82 games. A goal scorer is what we need. A goal scorer is what I was asking for. So I can't come on here and be a hypocrite, you know? Not the ideal profile, of course he's not. But at the same time, I'm happy with the addition. Very happy with the addition. Amiri just looks, I mean, technically he looks very, very good. Looks very, very good. Looks very, very gifted. And someone who shouldn't really be playing at championship level, which is what you could point to a lot of Daniel Farke signings being, you know, in his Norwich days, his early Norwich days anyway. You've been very surprised that they're at championship level with the quality that they had at their disposal. So, the bigger picture now, what I do want to focus on, the biggest thing that we have received today, in my opinion, isn't Perot. It isn't even Amiri. It isn't. The biggest news that, for me, we've heard today is that Leeds United have sorted everything out, it looks to be, and unless we get a significant offer, Luis Sinisterra is going to be a Leeds player by the end of the window. Doesn't matter about Perot, it doesn't matter about Amiri. I know these are all, you know, these are brand new shiny toys and we're excited and we know that we needed a 9, we know that we needed a 10. Luis Sinisterra is the best player in the championship. Bar none. He is. Technically, is level, the ceiling. You're probably looking at maybe Dewsbury Hall in terms of calibre and the ceiling that he can get to. I know the different positions, different profiles, but the ceiling he can get to is probably on the same level as Sinisterra. There is a conversation that Luis Sinisterra could be the best player that has ever graced the championship. So, with what we have initially, knowing that Sinisterra is fully invested in the project, he's spoken to Daniel Farke today. By the way, I thought Daniel Farke spoke excellently today, ironed out so many problems, was assertive with answering questions, and was very, very, in my opinion, articulate, extremely articulate with difficult questions that were laid his way. Sinisterra is massive. It is massive. And a happy Sinisterra is even bigger. That is the news of the day. The news of the day for me, bar none. So I'm utterly ecstatic that he's involved with the project. Apparently there wasn't anything there when it came to Sinisterra almost throwing his dummies out the pram. It was very, very much focused on his contract situation and how they're going to resolve that and where he needs to be and where, you know, what's next for him, basically. And that's what Daniel Farke was trying to say. Yeah, for me, reading between the lines, they've not had as much issues with Sinisterra as they have with Nonto. It's a completely different scenario, and I think that's what Daniel Farke was referring to today. So, when you look at a potential front four, and I'm going to lay this at your door right now, if you're looking at a potential front four, Amiri, as I've said several times, the research on Amiri is that we all know from what the compilations that you've seen that we all look at, but the scouting reports, which I've been reading today, 3 or 4 different sites doing scouting reports on him, all correlating with what they're saying about him. Highly, highly talented young individual, technically gifted, central attacking midfielder, use left, right, excellent balance. He looks to be, we'll get you a goal, we'll get you an assist. He looks to be in a front four, very exciting, very, very exciting. Hopefully shades of Buendia, who knows. Played already at a very high level, which Buendia hadn't before he came to Norwich. Obviously, Buendia probably been a bit younger at that stage, coming to Norwich at 21. But when you're looking at a front four, potentially, of Willy Gnonto, Voldemort, I should say, who we will get onto in just a little bit, Amiri, Sinisterra, and Joel Perot, is the best front four in the Championship. That, and I'm saying that is the best front four in the Championship. Categorically. Now, if you improve, and this is when people come on here and they come on, you're negative, you're pessimistic. I'm not pessimistic. I'm not negative. I've got expectations for my club. I've got standards for my club. I'm not going online and saying Jamie Shackleton's an unsung hero. Fucking hell. What we need to be speaking about. Look, I respect Jamie Shackleton's effort. I respect Dan James's hustle. But when I'm talking about players in the Championship and the expectations I have for my club, I want us to get the top caliber players available to a Championship standard Leeds United to get us out of this fucking division and get us back in the Premier League. I'm not playing happy families for the next 3 years and having these boys on the books who are not going to get us out of this division. I want ruthless killers who are in this division who are going to fire us out of the Premier League. Into the Premier League. Not out of the Premier League. Into the Premier League. That's what I want. So I've got no sentiment to any of that. And I've never believed in that. And it's got me in hot water with a lot of Leeds fans. But I've never believed in all that sentiment bollocks. It goes a certain way, but then for me, quality overrides sentiment. 6 days a week and twice on a Sunday. So really, that front four is an excellent front four. We all know that. And then we're talking nicely. We're talking a bit of a balance. You've got Dan James coming off the bench maybe for the last 20 minutes. You've got maybe Ian Poveda, who has looked a little bit better this season, in the early stages, coming back into the fold. You've got Crescencio Somerville, if you don't want to play Willie Gnonto there, who's looked electric for Leeds so far and looks like he's taken the mantle of the key player this season. Fantastic. And if you can keep, it would have been... if you were to say to me at the start of the window, Connor, you keep Gnonto, Somerville and Sinisterra, I'd be like, no chance, mate. No chance. Absolutely no chance. But they could do it. It's feasible now. And the club look like they are able to do that through many things that have happened. We're looking at Jack Harrison going out, Everton playing 100% of his loans. Good one, by the way, Jack. Excellent move there. And then Tyler Adams, who bailed off and was twerking for another club all summer, he's gone as well. And, we've got money in there. It looks like the financial capabilities of Leeds United right now are at a very, very good standard, a very, very good setting. So that has enabled us really to be able to play hardball as well with certain individuals, which is excellent to see. Now, Willie Gnonto. I think the big thing about this guy is... Daniel Farke has come out and set the tone. Now, we were having a little debate on the debrief. If you haven't checked the debrief out this week, please go check it out. Really, really good, articulate conversation, if I do say so myself. We were having a nice little discussion about Willie Gnonto and where he would fit in with the fan base. How is everybody going to react? How is everybody going to react to this news? Now, I just want to read out a quote from Daniel Farke today, if I can get it up. LUFC fan, shout out LUFC Fan Zone as well, by the way. Great page, and for some reason I can't find it. 2 minutes, everyone. I just want to read these quotes out, and I saw LUFC Fan Zone put them out earlier on. We got them. Come on. I find this page all the time. Whatever, can't find it. Classic. But anyway, paraphrasing, he was essentially saying that he's had one chance. This is his second chance. And I loved how he just came out publicly. And listen, a lot of people might be saying he's burying the player and all this sort of stuff at 19 years of age. I don't think he's burying him. He's saying he's got a third chance. The fact that Farke and Leeds United have given him a third chance is massive. He's come back to Leeds, the tail between his legs. For me, in my opinion, he's come back with the tail between his legs because Everton can't afford him. They can't go to 35 million quid. They can't do it. That is what Leeds United wanted, 32 million plus 3 million add-ons. Everton weren't willing to go to that. Leeds have played hardball with it, which is great to see and hear. Willie Gnonto has therefore come back to Leeds United and gone, okay, well, I'll come back now. That's how I read it. That is how I read it, to be honest with you. Because it all seems to have fallen a little bit in line with him then apologising, integrated back into training, all after it's gone wrong with Everton, after he kicked up a stink in our last 2 games. Morally, how do I feel about it? Not great. Because side before self is a big moral code for me when it comes to Leeds United. We all know that we would die to play for Leeds United. By the by, Sentiment FC, I've said I'm not bothered about, passion merchants, but we're all passion merchants at heart, aren't we? I just try apply logic with my passion as well. And I know you guys do that very, very well. I can always see that by the comment section. The point being, you obviously have to be emotionally involved with this when it comes to Willian Gnonto. But when we're just taking that and putting that to the side a little bit, objectively, this player is exceptional in the Championship. A very, very, very good player. And as I've said several times, if you're looking at a scenario now going into Ipswich where you've got Gnonto and you've got Sinisterra and they're going to feature, this is where you're thinking to yourself, already for Ipswich, it's a different scenario. It's a very different scenario to what it was 4 or 5 days ago. And this is what clearly Daniel Farke was referring to. I was getting itchy feet. I was getting a little bit pissed off, as I know a lot of you guys were, when it comes to transfers, because we were getting told all week, last week, that it was going to all start clicking into gear this week. As fans, we heard nothing. There was nothing on the rumour mill. It was all just poppycock. There was nothing there. It was all the same transfer accounts that were saying Leeds might be interested in so-and-so. Today it started moving. And this has been an excellent turn in events because we've got clarity on Gnonto, we've got clarity on Sinisterra, which for me is the biggest news of the day. We've got Perot hopefully coming in for a medical tonight and maybe being announced tomorrow and getting him on the bench for the Ipswich game. And then you've also got the news of Amiri, who hopefully will be that technical player who's going to be able to link the midfield and the attack, which is what Leeds desperately need. It's nice that they've identified that. I'm going to put a shout out there. Jed Spence, available on loan right now. Apparently it's Leeds, Bristol City, Swansea looking at his signature. That is of lower priority because he's a right back, 100%. But that's another game changer. Jed Spence in the Championship is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Winner. Pure winner. I'd love him in this Leeds United side and he'd cause absolute chaos. Imagine Jed Spence overlapping with someone like Crysencio Somerville or Louis Sinisterra, or whatever, if they're interchanging those two wingers consistently throughout the season. Imagine that, and if the players are happy, they're thoroughly involved in it, this Leeds United project, and they're playing for the badge, and there's a lift around the place. Someone like Jed Spence would be ideal. Charlie Taylor, you'll all get at me, but whatever. If you want an alternative, Josh Timon. Josh Timon, I believe he's at Stoke still. Would be a nice little addition as well. Left back, he's attainable. That's another rumour that I've seen today. He was a wonder kid about 3 or 4 years ago. People were talking about him for Premier League moves and all this sort of stuff. Wouldn't mind that whatsoever. And when you're looking at a central midfield body as well, if you can get 2 central midfielders in, that'd just be amazing. If you've got a Cam in, if you've got O'Brien, and then this is what I mean. You're building the squad, you're building the profiles, you're building the depth, you're aiding Archie Gray. You're doing all these little things that we wanted to see, these dominoes falling into place. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, Connor, this was what it was all about. We were just being patient. But I'm not having any fan turning around and saying that they were expectant, because the club have promised signings for the best part of 3 weeks. We've been told it was going to be an aggressive window. We've been told not to panic. We've been told it's all going to fall into place. We've been told we've got 900,000 investors in America who are all sporting athletes, superstars with incredible net worth, and we've not really seen anything apart from Ethan Ampadu in the entire summer window. So I think as fans, especially with what went through with Tom and Jerry beforehand in terms of ownership, I think as fans, it's warranted that you're getting a little bit worried. And I think everybody, even the people who've been telling you not to get worried, have been getting worried behind closed doors, 100%, because we're leaving it late. We've got 8 days left. We've got 8 days left. And I still think things are going to move. I think things are going to develop. And I think that Leeds United are going to hopefully, if this starts to, you get Perot and you get Amiri in, let's not, please, don't be thinking to yourself that that's fine. It's not. We still need bodies in. Profiles still need to go in. We're a Sam Byram injury away from not having a left back. We're an Archie Gray injury away from not having a central midfielder. 9 and 10 this week were priority. The creative outlet for Leeds United has been nothing short of dire. Now you've got Gnonto. Now you've got Sinisterra fully on board. That is a quartet of quality. A quartet of quality going forward, which is fabulous, right? But there's profiles within that squad that still need improving. And throughout a 46-game season, 50-game season, when you're taking into account all the cup competitions, there has to be quality and depth. There simply has to be. So, yes, great for now. Fantastic if we get those 2 signings done. You're looking at real profiles being added to this Leeds United side, real quality being added to this Leeds United side going forward. But what have we learned over the past however many years? Leeds have been top heavy. We've always been top heavy. In the past 4 to 5 years, we need to be completely solid at the back. We need enforcements at the back that is going to make up a top back line without any risks. I don't want any risks this season in my back line. I'm buzzing with Ethan Ampadu. I'm buzzing with Archie. But please don't be thinking to yourself, Archie Gray can go through a 50-game season, because I would look at you and I would say, you're almost not a responsible fan. And I know it's not up to us. Of course it's not. But you got to look at yourself if you're genuinely believing a 17-year-old should be going through a 50-game season, because he should not. He should not. Lewis Cook's the classic example who did that at Leeds United because we had no alternatives and has been riddled with injuries ever since. You cannot stunt his development at his age. He needs to be intermittently put into this Leeds United side. We need experience in there who've got championship experience. That would be great. So, yeah, Kamara, okay. I mean, I'm liking O'Brien way more than Kamara. Kamara seems to be the longest saga we've had since Ryan Kent. But yeah, I think those two I'd be okay with. I'd be happy with. O'Brien, I'd be ecstatic with, as you guys know. Left back, you know what I'd go for. It gets boring me saying the same thing, and presumably we're still going to get the same comments in the comment section below about Charlie Taylor. Charlie Taylor's perfect. Hopefully they're going to move on that and ignore the noise and get Charlie back. Leeds fan will 100% want us to get back up. That'd be fantastic. There are profiles there, and for me, there are gettable assets there. If they were not gettable assets, that have already been picked up by the top clubs in the Championship and the lower league clubs in the Premier League. It hasn't happened, so they are gettable for Leeds United, and I'm talking about Lewis O'Brien and Charlie Taylor there. So loads to be positive about. Ted saying at Leeds inquiring about Timon from Stoke. That would be a good addition as well. A lot of experience there as well. Jared says Charlie Taylor for no fee is a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer, mate. It's a no-brainer. Daniel sent a £4 super sticker in. Thank you so much, mate. Guys, please make sure you're liking the video. There's nearly 2,000 of you in the building, and it's fantastic that we're talking positive. We're talking about Leeds United. We're talking about a bit of a new era. And what I will say as well is, if we're to sign Perot, right, we'd sign Amiri, and would sign 2 or 3 others. I've said this before, but I am willing to eradicate every single game that we have played so far. Ignore every single game we've played so far. Put it down. We'll put it to the side. Leeds have had, annoyingly, and because of the takeover and it took too long, but I said this 3 months ago, we're starting behind Southampton and Leicester and a lot of the other clubs that are well run. Ipswich being a classic example. We're starting so far behind that Leeds' season has to start when the transfer window ends. And I think that's what the 49ers are looking at. The season, you've seen clubs being promoted from December, January onwards. The big worry for me through this entire period is fans were still saying we're going to make a late charge without any additions, or just bringing in 1 or 2 more additions. The reality of it all is we still need, in my opinion, 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 on top of Perot and Amiri. So, there is still Leeds' season, if we're able to get the targets that we get, it can be aggressive, as the 49ers have said, from early September. That is when the season starts. So I'm almost willing, in a strange sort of way, to discount this weekend. I'm not, obviously, and with the additions of, I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. No, I'm not. I'm going to sneeze at some point. But with the additions, of Perot and Amiri and Nonto and Sinistera coming back. Obviously, Somerville's not in contention yet. Paveda's going to be out. James is going to be out. So it's still a bit of a threadbare side. So I'm almost willing to give this weekend a bit of a pass. And if Leeds are able to get the bodies in, I'm very, very happy to judge the season from that point onwards. And that's been the difference. It's the fact that they've actually got deals done, proper deals done, if these other deals do get done in the meantime. And then I will start to look on it and think, okay, let's go. Fantastic. Let's move. instead of this sort of negative mindset, which I have been in, this pessimistic mindset, which I have been in, because who am I trusting and why am I trusting them? What, because they've said we're going to have an aggressive window? Have I automatically got to trust people who have been minority shareholders, granted not the majority shareholders, but they've overseen a lot of what has happened with the absolute farcical ownership that we've had before? So I'm not going to naturally trust these people for just talking and saying one thing and then saying another. Actions speak louder than words, ultimately, the old catchphrase. So we've got to see, the fruit of the labour. We've got to see the evidence, so they can say we're having an aggressive window, but unless they show me we're having an aggressive window, I'm not going to believe them. And I've not seen it as of yet, and it's got to around about 8 days left before the window sees it, where we're now, hopefully, touch wood, seeing it. So we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Leeds United are going to be able to get these deals done. And I really hope they do, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing player profiles on the Patreon. We're going to be doing live streams about Joel Perreault. We're going to be talking about Amiri on live streams. We're going to be discussing the intricacies of how he's going to fit into this Leeds team, how he's going to replicate Buendia. We're going to be doing analysis on all of these players, because we all want Leeds United to succeed. We all want these players to come in and thrive and flourish in a Daniel Farke system. And that is something I'm really, really excited about. Sujal's got a comment in the section below here. Dale Pratt, thank you so much for your £5, mate. Connor just noticed nearly 30k subscribers. Amazing. Yeah, guys, I never ask. I'd say it at the start of videos and periodically at the end and stuff like this. And I probably need to up my video content, to be honest with you, but work does get in the way. But I'd really, really appreciate it if you could hit a subscribe on the channel. We are really close to 30,000 subscribers, and that's magical. I do all of this by myself on the channel. I do everything by myself. We have some fantastic guests on the channel as well. But yeah, everything that you see is me when it comes to everything, basically. Apart from the guest voices who are also excellent on the channel. So thank you so much for your continued support, and thank you so much, Sujal, for that. Prasad says, greetings, Connor, from sunny California. Love show, but let's get these deals over the line. Every AM I log on to this and other channels praying for signings. I agree. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Joe says, make sure you subscribe, people, and pay your rent. Exactly. I need some rent. Rent. Yeah, that's it. It's a good way of putting it. Grimsby Gabe bringing in the 5k. 5k. I'll tell you what. Let's get some donations in. All the donations that we have on this stream, we will contribute to a proper haircut for Gabe, and we'll get it done in Grimsby. We'll fly him over and we'll get a Grimsby cut for Gabe. We'll get that sorted out for him. We need to sort that mess out on the top of his head. Good morning from Oz, you legend. Hello. Let's sell Bamford to Everton. That would be the final curtain call for me, and that would send Connor into a fit of ecstasy if Leeds United were to somehow sell Patrick Bamford to Everton. That would be very nice. Or somehow Bournemouth, but you do feel Bournemouth are well run, and that's another thing. Let's ignore. Please, I thought this. I'm actually getting cold sweats thinking about Bournemouth. Bournemouth is a nice, sunny seaside town who I have no affliction with whatsoever. I have no envy towards whatsoever, apart from them being in the Premier League, having Iriola and Max Aarons. But by the by, there is nothing there with Bournemouth. But I am looking at now the deal that Leeds have got with Joel Perreault and Amiri in place. I'm thinking to myself, that's terrifying, because it's now in the public sphere, it's now in the ether, and Bournemouth know about it. Bournemouth will know about it. So please, for God's sake, Bournemouth, just look, I know your town was trashed in 1990, 1991, whatever the hell it was, but let's move on. Let's move on. Your fans have had a little song and a dance about getting Aaron's offers, and Iriola and all this sort of stuff, and beating us 4-1. You've had the trio, you've had the hat-trick. Move on. Let us have these players. Just let us have a modicum of happiness. Because as a Leeds fan, sometimes it gets a bit dark in this space. And it's been dark for around about 2 years. I would love a little bit of optimism, a little bit of verve, a little bit of va-va-voom when it comes to Leeds United signings. So please, just let us have them, because I'm sick. There's no even rumour of Bournemouth getting these players. But just the Max Aarons thing has still stuck with me. Today, I can't watch Max Aarons for Bournemouth. It just vexes me so much. So, yeah, let's hope that it's going to be a seamless end to the window for Leeds. Jared Fletcher says haircut. Yes, haircut for Gabe. Thank you so much. How much have we got now? We've got 5. We've got 2, 12. We've got £20. Listen, in any affordable barbershop, £20 is enough for a trim. So, you know, he won't come over here and get it done in Grimsby, but what I'll do is I'll PayPal him the amount, and then he can just like video him actually going in. You do a little vlog and we'll put it on the One Leeds channel of him getting a haircut, and we can make it a nice little thing because he needs that stuff sorted out. Connor, do you think Joel Perreault has a textured front? Maybe. Context, everybody. You need to watch the debrief. I feel like I'm rinsing Gabe here. Sometimes, you know, Gabe does deserve it. So there we go. What's with the shirt? Matty, you need to get up on this, mate. Why would I be wearing a Holland shirt? A Holland shirt, you shouldn't actually say Holland because there is I believe there's 2 Hollands in Netherlands. That's why they call it the Netherlands. But there he is. He's in the building. Hello, Gabe. But what's with the shirt? Why would I be wearing a Dutch shirt for this stream? I'm going to ask you the question, Matty C. That's what I'm going to ask. Bournemouth will hijack Perreault tomorrow. Much bigger wages. They have waited 30 years to get revenge for that bank holiday weekend. Mike, I will say I think they've got revenge. Iriola, Max Aarons, 4-1. A battering at the back end of last season. I think they've got the revenge. You know, how much do you want to stick that knife in and twist? Are we going for another 180 twist in there? And are they just going to rob someone else off us? There's been no rumours, but Bournemouth scare me. Bournemouth are now terrifying me more than any sort of revenge, like, you know, rivalry that we have, because they just seem to be there and pit Leeds to the post. Tyler Adams, forgot about him. Yes, I did forget about him. But Dave, I wasn't asked about him going. No bitterness, no sourness from me. I got called sour, this, that, and the other when it came to Tyler Adams. I'm not sour when it comes to him. I just think Leeds can do better, and he's very basic, and people don't like to hear that because he bumps his shirt and shouts into the crowd and shouts at other players. But he's basic. He's good at what he does, but he's basic, and we can get better. Yeah, I know you've got no problem with it, Matty. I was just having a laugh, mate. Just having a laugh. It's Perreault in Leeds. I've no idea. I'm expecting some pictures soon. I haven't seen Connor this happy since we beat Brentford. Jared, it's been a long 2 years, mate. A long 18 months. You know, we beat Brentford. I was delirious. I thought things were going to get better. Rafinha scored. I was in a Rafinha bubble for a long, long time where I was a Cape Crusader defending anybody who came at Rafinha because I just couldn't understand it. Leeds fans were coming at Rafinha. Are you kidding me? And yeah, when he left, and then, you know, when everything started going sour, and then we got that donkey in charge, it all started getting more negative, didn't it? And I think, listen, it's understandable that it's been negative, because it has been. Let's not bullshit. It's been a very negative period. Is it the 1988 Euro shirt you've got on, Connor? It is, my friend Kenny, Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, all of the boys. Shut up, Ryan. I know you're trying to wind me up. I'm in a good place. Stop it. So yeah, everyone. As I say, the overall conclusion is Leeds are in hopefully a better space going into this weekend. I am obviously completely indoctrinated into every Leeds United game. I am kicking every ball. I am punching every ball and heading every ball as I am sat here in my flat because I can't get to games because of my job, watching Leeds United. I'm probably causing a lot more knocks on my door in terms of complaints, which I've had 3 times already this season for me watching Leeds games at said time. So listen, I'm going to be kicking every ball. Leeds United being down there at Portman Road, it's never been a happy hunting ground for Leeds United if you look historically, but you're hoping, even with this Kieran McKenna side, where they're going to come for Leeds big time, there's going to be a high press. Hopefully we can deal with it. Hopefully with the ballers, that Sinistera, like Sinistera and Nonto in the side, Leeds are able to have that technical ability to win free kicks in the opposition half, to be able to curate chances, to be able to, make opportunities for who's going to be up front, Gelhardt. And hopefully we're going to see some real movement. And if we can get a point down there, it'd be a great result. I think at this moment in time, I think it'd be a good result. A win would be fantastic. And what momentum that would be going into the next week. Leeds sign Perot. We show Perot we mean business because we beat a team in the top 3. Then we show Mary that we've got momentum and we've got, we make sense to come to because we're beating a team in the top 3, and this is going to be the galvanising week for Leeds United. Then we bring in O'Brien, then we bring in Taylor, then we bring in Jed Spence. Connor's happy, it's signed, sealed and delivered, end of the window. Fantastic. That would be a good window, a good week for Leeds United. We need a good week. I'm going to do this manifestation thing. We're going to have a good week, right? It's changed. Today's changed me because I've seen some positivity for once. Nonso, Sinistera, Amiri, Perot. Let's get Ipswich out the way. Hopefully get something down there, and we'll see. We'll see. Listen, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm really going to leave it there. I really appreciate it. There's 2,000 of you in the building. If we could get, 2,000 likes or 1,500 likes, that'd be impeccable. There's going to be more streams coming. Make sure you sign up for our Patreon if you want some bonus content of this gobshite going on for another 5 or 10, 15, 20 minutes. There will be more things uploaded on there, of course, in the coming weeks when it comes to new signings. It's been dry because we've had nothing coming up, but I love putting scouting profiles, analysis, ones to watch, all this sort of stuff on there. And there's going to be early stuff put on there before we put it on the channel. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I need to take a breath. I'm going to be refreshing Twitter all night. Fabrizio Romano, Bournemouth, Burnley, whoever you are, don't come in for our man Joel Perot. And hopefully we've got him and Amiri signed by the end of Friday. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you soon.